はい、FF162 周目ファイナルファンタジーチャレンジ続きをやっていきたいと思います。今日はまずアルテマウェポン作ろう。アルテマウェポンを作るにはゴッターダメルンが必要で、ゴッターダメルンを作るにはあと黒金プラス1。原始の角笛、なんか宝箱を探してる時に勝っちゃったみたいだな。この角笛じゃなくて黒金は誰から手に入れられるのかというのをググる。黒金、タナトスとプリンス・オブ・デス。タナトスとプリンス・オブ・デス。これで両方すでに倒してたらどうしよう。そんなことあんのかな。タナトス、ああ、スバローグ出てるわ。あ、タナトス倒してる。あれ、プリンス・オブ・デス出てないな。なるほど。崩れゆく剣壁、イサベルのクエストをやらないと出ないみたいだ。というわけでイサベルのクエストをやりに行こう。イサベルに宝石を渡す。あとやりたいクエスト、流れるようにフォトモードを立ち上げてしまった。このじゃこれウォールードだもんな。まあいいか、とりあえずアルテマウェポンを作ろう。
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Here you go.
ザンブレク、イサベルだな。こんばんは。本日はアルテマウェポンの作成ですか。そうです、作成を早速しようと思ったのですが、イサベルのクエストの後編をやらないとリスキーモブが出てこないらしいんで、対象の。とりあえずイサベルのクエストを終わらせよう。
What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrek. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. one built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrec. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men. If it did not cost him his life.
急に勝手なこと言われてもね。
Mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation. Least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
Who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops.
いかにも貴族って感じの政治手法。
Alright. Wish me luck.
てか偉いさんはオリフレーム校しか生き残ってないってことなのかな。今生きてる現存のご存命の中でその人が一番偉いのか。でも別に。
Let's hope we didn't make a strong impression.
そっか。2人がいるうちにこのクエストをやるのは初めてかな。でも別に王族でもないもんな。軍の上層部、そんな権利あんのかな。
Halt. Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek or
他の貴
favor?
族はバハムートにすっ飛ばされたのかな。
I thought only to
悲しいか
inquire
も
about your
かな
plan
そう
to
か
turn
もしれん。
Northreach into a stronghold.
てかディオン連れてきたらいいんじゃないの。
I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle,
ディオンなら全員従うでしょう
we
ね。
need only build a wall around
でもどうなんだろう。
both
ディオン
to
のこと
create a
どう
city
思ってん
that
だ
will
ろ
be
う。
the envy of the twins.
竜騎士たちは味方だと思うけどさ。
Plans are already underway for the construction.
でもさすがに王族だから
These thralls shall learn that they are no match
反
for
抗
the
しないよ
might
ね。
of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government, one whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary, so that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
めんどくさいのが出てきたな。
We have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
かまってちゃん
Without
が
an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later.
早々に去
Citizens
る。
revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Sabine.
いや急に自分たちの町に来てね、財産徴収するから国再建するから手伝えよって言われてもってなるよね。何のメリットがみたいな。
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall.
この関連的な平等思想も
Couldn't
困る
have
ん
the
だよな。
rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off.
そうだよ
If the
な。
dame said she wanted him run out of town,
外の人は余計だよな。あ、ごめん汁。
The Dominion's all but done for. It's lucky we stayed here. I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
なんかここもね、なんか表立ってマダムが一番トップですとはなってないけど、みんなの認識上そうっていうことが外から来た人には分かんないからね。
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
すごいなんか固まってるな。いいなその塊。俺も塊に入れてくれよ。ああ。 入れない。まだまあ身分的には平民ですからね。そうなんだよね。現実で言うと急に市長がいきなり変わって財産徴収します、ここから国を立て直すみたいなことでしょ。超嫌だね。
I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
なんか普通人をどかすんだったら金もらうよね。普通逆だからおかしいんだよな。これでこのお金で出て行ってもらえないだろうかっていう立ち退きのお金が発生するはずなのに、なんで徴収されて出ていかなきゃいけないんだっていう。
You're the one who's talking to His Eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it.
いや、ほんとそれ国の前に生活が壊れる。明日生きていけなくなるわって感じだよね。上か。
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sandbreck is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
兵士たちは割と肯定派なんだよな。まあそりゃ指揮系統がそうだからそうだよね。別にここに住んでる人たちじゃないもんね。単身赴任みたいな感じで来てるだけであって。あれフィリップ君？いたいたいた。
Captain, do you have a moment?
キャプテン。
For you, certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
まあ兵隊さんは公務員みたいなもんですからね。まあそうよね。 指揮命令系統が狂ってたら務まらんのよね。
I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
さあフィリップが腹を決めたと。あいついいやつなんだよな。あ、宝。この蛮族通貨とかって何に使うんだろう。売ればいいのかな。なんかブラックソーンのところで使ってんのかな実は。
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sambrek, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realized what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
マダムはフィリップのこと割とどうでも良さそうですよね。
There may be hope for Northreach yet, especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
いやフィリップはじわじわボディーブローを効かせてってると思うな、マダムに対して。マダムもじわじわ来てるんじゃないのかな。どうイサベル。
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier, if only for a few nights.
もちろん。
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do without you? Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. Let us speak. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely. Our conversation can wait.
Please, proceed.
いい人止まりかそれ以上の関係にあるかギリギリのライン。
Indeed, I owe you my thanks
人押しにかける
for
感じかな。
continuing to argue against his reckless plans.
いいやつなのは間
Yet I
違いない
fear。he is not one to be swayed by reason. No. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people. He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him. By all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his followers included. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
マダムって貫禄はあるけど意外に若いのかな。
But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to harden the Duke's resolve, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch. But perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so kind as to seek him out.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you. I'd like to see the two of you in action together.
なんかこの町に来てから割と年数経ってなかったっけ。しかもシドとかと結構長い間お友達だった気がするから若くはないと思うんだけどな。でも何歳からこの仕事やってんのかって話だよね。
Saw the captain just now.
I would speak with this Duke.
What does the dame have to say about all this?
あ、絡まれてる。
Abandon the people to their fates.
I'm not abandoning anyone to anything. Look, I'm sorry, but I've got a job to do here.
ジョシュアとジルがなんとなく村人に紛れて、この人たち何やってんだろう。
This is my father's store, and his father's before that. I'm not going anywhere.
あ、なるほど。落ち込んでんのか。
Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank
こ
you
の
so
人
much for
何
your
か
help.
手伝ったとしても何か気に食わないことがあったら他の人にこうやりそうだよね。
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
親
She
子。
made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fermenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
よし。さっさと見てくるか。どうしても左を向いてしまう。
Good girl. Run like the wind.
すぐそこか。
Damn it.
行くぞ。
The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
ここにこんな自然発生してたら近いよな。それそれ。マダムは30代中盤ぐらいかな。でもさ、クライブで33だっけ？ヘイ、ケアル誰だ？ケアル。奥だな。うん。女子がいる。終わりだ。まだあんなところに生きとるがる。あ、私がとどめを刺さないといけない。はでもああいう仕事って始めるのが早いイメージがある。まあ確かに10代ぐらいからしてそうなイメージはある。
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, that's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. But she'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dane was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
クライブよりは確実に上だよね。40手前かな、イメージだと私の中の
Do you not see, Father?
落ち着き方が。
The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore. You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a branded.
もうこれで嫌いだわ。反省したところでこいつを追い出したい。
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Grieger.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
Oh, fuck. No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order.
すぐ捨てようとする。
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together for Northreach.
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
いや、そうなんだ
She
よ。
is but a common...
Whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell.
この貫禄はやっぱり40手前じゃないか。
The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. Unlike the enemy, I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
All right. But take care.
Thank you, both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
クライブが八つ咲きにしてくる。秘書官。
I have served the Duke for many years, and I hope to do so for many more. But I cannot turn my back on these people. Our people.
そりゃそうだ。本物のリーダーってマダムみたいな人言うんだな。
Wherefore would you forsake me?
すごい近距離で。負けた。目の前にデバマダムに全部持ってかれたからへこんじまってる。そんなへこんでる場合でもねえだろクソじじい。ふざけんなよ。ほんと使えねえなあいつ。落ち込むなら戦闘が終わってからにしてくれよ。
So many of them. Not for long.
さあ始末。集まれー集まれー集まれー。しょんぼりしてる場合か。いやマジそれね。一応軍の指揮官だったら剣扱えるんだよね。戦力が少しでも欲しい時だっていうのに。来た。はい。くらえー。うわ、ジョシュアが後ろですごいことに。あれはジョシュアは半権限してんのか。ジルも半権限してんのかなもしや。あ、5じゃなかった。はい。ジョシュアを引くんじゃないよ。テイクダウン。いけいけいけ。これで終わりだ。
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
戻ろう。
Clive. It's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again. As did you, Sabine. His Radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, Your Ladyship, I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The Dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you?
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only for Sanbreque, but for us.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
いやー、段階が違うんだよな。オリフレム公が言ってることもわかるんだけどさ、それは割と大きくなってからの話じゃない？今はそういう場合じゃないんだよっていう。よく考えたら幼馴染が全員ドミナントになるって都合良すぎる。でもそれはさ、絶対さ、あれだと思うよ。アルテマの思惑だと思うよ。違うのかな？近くにミトスの近くにドミナントを配置して食わせるっていうあれじゃないんかな。もうマダム王国を作ろう。もうほぼほぼノースリーチはマダム王国。 てか女の人が強い町があっていいよね。マーさんとこもそうだけどさ。
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town, it is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the veil that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter, all united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
あんなにフィリップが力になってくれてるが、マダムのタイプはクライブということですね。悲しいかなフィリップ16ってサブキャラ女性の方が活躍しますよね。なんか目立つんだよね、強い女が。そしてマダムに指輪はまだ渡せない。さあこれでモブハントが出てるはずだ。一度帰ろうか、ジョシュア・ジル、トルガル。出てるな。どこだ？ プリンス・オブ・デスだよね。え、名前出てない系の人か。新しく出たのこれか。じゃあこれかな。オルシエル岬。竜騎士だから違うもんね。オルシエル岬。10年以上前っぽいな、恋人が死んだの。なんかちょっと時間が経過してるような感じするよね。オルシエル岬ってどこ？あ、ここか。左、ノースリーチ出て左。その後どういう風にやってんだろう。ちゃんと協力してんのかな。
I remember standing here when I was no more than a stripling. The girl's grandfather would tell us tales of dragons and icons. I couldn't wait to leave town in search of adventures like the ones he told me about.
何の
I
話だ？
knew they were waiting right here.
From the sea, a mighty serpent rose, and with a roar that shook the heavens, summoned a swell to swallow the
あの
western
凍ってる波の
sands.
こと？
But we can finish the rest tomorrow. Tomorrow? But I want to hear what happens now.
早く聞きたいよ。お、やってるか。
The Duke has pledged to work with the people of Northreach to rebuild the Empire.
Better late than never.
やってるか。
Carla, the dame needn't worry. I am a man of my word, and I fully intend to keep it. So overzealous was I in my desire to see the Empire restored that I lost sight of what was truly important. The citizenry.
そうだよ、ザンブレクにはいっぱい人がいるからね。そこを全部守ってから国の再建にしてくれ。
Do be careful.
We won the battle, yeah, but those things will come back. And when they do, we'll be ready.
シガンの住民。まあ訓練はできそうだよな、みんなで。軍の人がいるんだから。こっちの奥かな。マダムが好きだったベアラーの少年のイラストとかあんのかな。アルティマニアにクライブそっくりなのかな。いる？なんか石塔があるだけな感じするけど。この上か？乗れない。 あ、
Be safe.
あれここだったよね、オリシエル岬。あれか、いたわ。顔が似てるのか性格が似てるのかどっちなのかな。顔じゃないのかな。恋をしたっていう話をしてて、その後に似てるって言ってたから顔なのかと思ってた。てっきりプリンスオブデスいた。これありくらえーい。あ、浮いてんな浮いてんな。珍しくレベルが下。もうだいぶ私のレベルが高くなったんである。それそれそれ。溜まってないや。間違えた。芝じゃなかった。回復しなくてもよかったな。はい。どこ行った？左に行く左に行く左に行っちゃう。あ、ちゃちゃちゃちゃ。おいでよおいでよおいでよ。あ、なくなっちゃった。やっぱ暫定剣でも硬いよな、雑魚じゃないと。くらえー。あ、レベル上がった。よし。完了したら定位置に戻るトルガル。かわいい。よし、これで作れるぞ。ブラックソーのところに早く素材を渡そう。ゴッターダメルンをまず作るのか。
So, will it be?
来たー。
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
来たー。
Should last you a good while.
ウロボロスまだ作れないな。アルテマウェポンは強化できないわ。やったー。おお。めっちゃ見てる。おお。やっぱアルテマウェポンだからアルテマっぽいな。ね、このアルテマ感あるよね。この光ってんだよねこれ。なんとも言えない素材。ターコイズっぽいというかなんというか宝石みたい。よっしゃ。アルテマウェポンゲットだぜ。おじさんの声出てこないんだよなまだ。あ、そっか。あれか。カンタンのところやってないからかな多分。あ、自分の部屋に来たと思って間違えちゃった。ディオンのクエストもまだ出てない気がするな。とりあえずじゃあ配信でやってないカンタンのクエストやるか。ついに最強剣ゲット。これで最強装備、違うか。まだここが腕輪じゃないや。腰が最強じゃないな。あと源氏のコテもプラスじゃないか。それ以外はプラスだけど。源氏のコテはサブクエをやりまくってるともらえるんだよね。まだもらえないらしい。じゃあカンタンのクエスト行こう。
How are you doing? Here you go.
これ。
Good day to you.
挨拶された。
We've no crystals to keep the catch. The markets in Northreach are as bare as a new water.
Good to see you, Sid, as always. Master Quentin's out back.
I reckon I can lend a hand.
ようカンタン。
Ah, Clive.
So,
Your
so,
timing
復讐。
is exquisite as always. I have a concern which you may be
結
able
構
to
不
assist
気味だよね。
There are whisperings afoot of shadowy figures having been sighted outside the village. Rustlings in the undergrowth, suspicious noises. My people fear that they are being watched. It may be no more than a surfeit of nerves, understandable in the current climate, or it may be the prelude to something altogether more dangerous. Given what I hope you'll forgive me calling your nose for trouble, I wondered if you might investigate.
Of course.
Excellent. You might begin by speaking with the good citizens of Lostwing. Listen to their tales, and make what you will of them.
All right. I will.
いやまさかの全員がねそういう目的を持って集まった人たちだとは。
Hello, Sid? Could there be any truth to these rumors, do you
Hello.
I don't doubt that people heard or saw something. As to what it was, there's only one way to find out.
よし、聞いて回ろう。お、あ、すぐそこにいるな。
You're quite talented with that rod of yours.
どうも。
You alright, Sid? Something on your mind?
There is actually. Can I ask you something? Quentin tells me people have mentioned shadowy figures out in the woods. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Oh, that. No, sorry, can't help you. I heard the rumors, mind, from the lads working over at the vineyard, but none of them has seen anything either.
All right. Thanks anyway.
カッターモンの方じゃなかったかな。
The markets in Northreach are as bare as a newborn's arse.
こっちだった気がするんだよな。
Do you have a moment? There's talk of suspicious figures in the woods. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary?
No, but I've heard something. Sound of scraping metal, like someone sharpening a sword.
Where was this?
In Lorbert's Pass. Was out foraging for herbs when I heard it, screeching out from between the trees. Ran back here as quick as my legs would carry me, and I ain't been back since.
I see. I'll look into it. Thank you.
To Lorbert's Pass, then?
Probably a good idea. Figments of the imagination don't sharpen swords.
危機管理能力高いな、あの子。金属が擦れる音で速攻に戻るという。この辺りだ。
You there?
Fuck! He's seen us.
丸見え。丸見え。
Black shields. Here.
まだいたのかお前ら。ロザニアにいたんじゃないのかお前らは。
What is it to you? Not that we give a damn. All that matters to us is that you don't leave here alive.
アルテマソードだぞこちとら。あ、ケアルを超えてやる。まだ？あ、そう。八つ咲きにしてるわ。はいはいはいはいはいはい。
Why would the Black Shields be here? Unless they're planning to move on Lostwing.
We need to warn Quentin.
Quentin. ロザリアからここまで来たんだね。黒騎士も野放しというわけか、ザンブレックは。 カンタン戻ったぞ。
Clive, how goes the hunt for our sinister figures?
I found some black shields hiding near Lorbert's Pass. They're gone now.
そうだね、英語だとブラックシールズ。
The Empress's former bloodhounds, though they serve another master.
黒の盾。
One who means to root out and destroy both me and those I care for. And it would appear the pack has finally caught the scent of its prey. Damn it all. I had hoped I would have more time than this. More time to prepare. But if we are cornered, we have no choice but to bite back. And bite back we shall.
I'm sorry. You're going to need to explain. Who did the Black Shield serve now? And why would that person want you dead?
Because I want him dead.
Who?
The former Lord Chief Justice of Sanbreque. All that I have built here is for him.
I don't understand. Why him? Why Lostwing?
I suppose it is better that you know the truth. I was a member of the judiciary once. So sickened was I by the injustice of this world, I swore to fight it. And fight it I did in my own small way. I saw more than a few corrupt officials condemned to the very cells into which they had thrown blameless innocents. Men to whom the law was but a scourge to turn against the powerless. And throughout, it was the Lord Chief Justice who backed me, who was my one true ally in the quest to see justice done.
So what changed?
I discovered that he hunted bearers for sport. I was a fool to think he shared my hatred of venality and vice. His support for me was no more than a facade, a means of ridding himself of his rivals, a mask to hide the rot beneath. I filed suit against him immediately. His response, however, was rather more visceral. He had my entire family slaughtered, and he faced no punishment whatsoever. I lost everything. My loved ones, my livelihood, my position, the faith I had once held that any modicum of justice might be achieved through the courts. So I set about enacting my own. I tracked down every soul who served him, and slit their throats myself. But the man himself proved an altogether more difficult target. With money and power come protection, and so I saw that I would need an army of my own. I came here to Lostwing and began recruiting like-minded individuals.
And everyone here knows this is why you do what you do.
Of course. They too have lost loved ones to the bearer hunts. Seen faultless friends sent to the gallows to spare the guilty. All under the watchful eye of the Lord Chief Justice. Our wounds are the same. And our cause is the same. We are comrades. And our revenge is already in motion. We know where he hides, how numerous and well-trained his guard. What we did not know until now, however, was that his plans may already be in motion too.
Quentin.
Our time is short. He may move against us at any moment, unless we move against him first. My friends and comrades, it begins. Make ready for war.
その割に装備品が足りない気がすんだよな。もうちょっと戦支度した方がいいんじゃないのか。かっちりと鎧とか。復讐をするなとはクライブ君にはとても言えない。
You know what you have to do. Clive, I fear that I must bid you farewell. As you know, our time grows short. The Lord Chief Justice's vultures are circling. We must strike now. Before we part, I want you to know that Though I may not always have been your most vocal ally, I trust you, as I trusted your predecessor.
Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment, and I understand more than anyone how you feel. But is revenge really the answer?
It is the one I found, and it is all that I have lived for since that day.
But what of Lostwing? Everything you've built.
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. Once it is done, the village will have served its purpose. My comrades and I are sure of our cause, and we shall fight to the last, come what may. But there are those among us who cannot fight. Children, the elderly, bearers afflicted by the curse. I would place Lostwing in their hands, if I thought it would do them any good. But a village home only to the frail and the infirm is not likely to stay a safe haven for long.
この淡々とした感じも闇が深いな。
And so, Clive, I find myself
そうなんだよ
turning to you
ね。
once
計
more.
画が結局やるだけなんですけどみたいな感じなんで。
That they might live, even should Lostwing die.
I will.
Thank you. I will not have it said that I did not see to the well-being of those who rallied to my cause. The people I speak of have withdrawn to Gotan's Bales, away from danger in case the Black Shields strike.
Understood. I'll make sure they get to the hideaway safely.
Then the last of my preparations are complete. Fare you well, Clive. And may Griga guide us. All of us.
いやー、気持ちはわかるんだよ。復讐のために生きてきた男がここにいるからね。でもね、あなたは終わった後後悔すると思うんだ。
Those who cannot join us in the coming fight are gathered at Gotan's Bales. I would ask that you see them to safety.
I'll search the village one last time for any stragglers. Then join Master Quinton and get some justice.
やっとなんだ。
Come then, brother. We are awaited in Gotan's Bales.
そうだね、ジョシュア。農場農場遠いな。
Let's go.
そういえばここの農場の葉っぱの色変わってんのか。なんかもっと緑じゃなかったっけ。枯れてるわけではないのか。いいのかこれは。この色で。枯れてる？やっぱ枯れてんのかな。緑のもあるけど品種じゃなくて枯れてんだよねこれ。ああ枯れてるっぽいな。
I can walk from here. Everyone, Quinton has asked that you come with me. He can no longer guarantee your protection, but I can. There's a safe place I can take you to.
Well, if that's what the Master thinks best.
Sid,
None of us would be standing here today if it weren't for Master Quinton.
we owe him our lives. So we ain't about to start telling him what he should do with his.
If he's saying we ain't safe in Lostwing no more, it's 'cause he ain't coming back. And if that's what has to happen, then so be it. I only hope he can see this through to the end. That we get to see justice done.
I hope so too.
Oi! You lot! Where's everyone else? They ain't already left, have they?
They've gone with Master Quinton.
Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
What's wrong?
I've just come from the Justice's manor. We have to get Quentin to call off the attack. It ain't just the Black Shields protecting the place. He's got a guard dog and all. A fucking monster. They don't stand a chance against that thing. If I don't get the message to them, they're all gonna fucking die.
No. We can't let this happen. Sid! Don't worry about us. You've got to catch up with him. We can't let Quentin die before that bastard does.
All right. I'll do what I can. Where is this manor?
It's way over to the east, through the woods. Heaven Hall, he calls it.
Promise us, Sid. Promise us you'll do what you can.
了解。秋になってるとかではなくて、そうなのかな。これ。枯れてはないの？農場の真ん中に立たされるクライブ君。収穫後、左側は青々としてブドウになってるけど、こっちは終了？収穫後こうなんのかな。結構黄色いのが目立つよね。黄色いのはまだいい方か。ここら辺はなんか元気がない。白っぽくなってる。さあ、結構あるんじゃなかったっけ。ここか。ドラゴニエル平原に飛んだ方が早いな。走ってきた傭兵のベアラー、あそこから走ってきたんか。エーテルの影響かな。そうかもしれないね。バランス狂ってるからね。通常じゃいられないのかもしれない。どっからこれどっから左に入るんだ。どっからここら辺か。お、あった。ここだ。待ってる、今行くぞ。ああ。
Look.
Don't tell me we're too late.
やられてる、だいぶ。カンタン。とりあえずまだ生きてる。
Quentin, are you all right?
No. But I am alive. Which is more than I can say for my comrades. They followed me without question all the way here. And they died. For nothing.
This must be the guard dog. Quentin. I'll hold it off. You go.
But
your comrades didn't die for nothing. They died for you. Don't let their sacrifice be in vain.
I won't.
そうだよ、こんな犠牲を出しておいて成し得なかったじゃかわいそうすぎる。犠牲になった人たちが。ところでこの敵の名前マイナス。 エブリレイス。あー減るねー。アクセントが違うのかな。マイナスじゃなくてマイナスとかマイナス。
Is it over? It is. He wept and begged for mercy. And I cut him from ear to ear, just as I dreamed of doing all these years. All my plans, building a haven in Lostwing, freeing bearers from their chains and recruiting them to my cause. It was all for this. But what is this? Justice? My faithful comrades. All those lives lost, so that I might take another.
Quentin.
Master Quentin! Oh, thank Grieger you're safe.
You're alive.
返り血が生々しい。
And so are you. I'm so sorry.
戦闘前はついてなか
I
った
tried
か
to
ら
warn
ね。
you about that thing. And I hate to say it, but there's more bad news. It's Lostwing. It's been flooded.
What? Lostwing. My Lostwing.
And look who's here.
They must have stolen in after we left, just before the flood struck. What if there are still people in there?
Don't be a fool.
Damn it.
すごい偉いっていうかさ、
Then we'll finish this quickly.
あんな逃げ遅れのがいないかどうか走って確かめに行くって、ただただ復讐のためにやってただけじゃああいう行動にならないと思うけどね。アカシックブラックシールド。そうですそうです。終わりだ。下か。これ。It's over. いだ。あとはまた出た。ずっと浮いてる。誰だケアル。ドイツだケアル。ケアルを殺す。終わりだ。
I need to find Quentin.
ダメだってエーテル。
Quentin, look at me. Thank the founder. He hasn't turned. I'm going to get you out of here.
あー、テオのこと思い出しちゃった。
Welcome back to the land of the living.
Is Lostwing?
The flood has filled the valley.
I see. Then all is at an end. A strange way to achieve one's life's ambition.
No, Master Quentin. Save your strength.
Why? All that I strove for is gone. Only emptiness remains. I have nothing left to live for.
What the heck are you on about? You've got us, ain't you? Don't try telling me you only freed us so you could get revenge. We're more than that to you, and we all know it.
I thought you weren't coming back. But I prayed, and you did. There's got to be a reason for that, right? Can't we just go back to how it was? You know, you looking after us all.
Your work ain't over yet, Master Quentin. We believed that you were the right man to lead us, and we still do.
Your village may be lost, but it seems your people aren't. So long as you remain to guide them.
But why? After what why would anyone follow me?
'Cause we're family, aren't we?
Family?
Yeah, and all our comrades who went with you, they felt the same. Lostwing weren't just a village. It was all of us.
It was. And as long as we're still here, it is too.
We can start again. Build a new Lostwing, right here in the Bales.
A fresh start. One life ends, and another begins. Why just a village? We could build towns. A nation, even. What's to stop us?
That's the Master Quentin we know.
Please. I am nobody's master. Quentin will suffice. After all, we are family. Permit me to withdraw my request. I will no longer be needing your help in looking after my people.
I'll pretend you never asked.
But you must be rewarded for your efforts on our behalf. You saved my life twice over. And more besides.
A bottle or two of your finest red will suffice.
Of course. Nothing but the best. And I have a feeling that this year's vintage will be the finest yet. If you don't mind waiting, that is.
I look forward to it.
結局ワイン飲めなかったな。本当は村人を大事にするいい村長なんだよな。そうなんだよね。だからこんなに人望が厚いんだよね。外の人っていうかさ、クライブとかにはなんかそっけない淡々とした感じだけど、村の人にはいい人なんだよね。これでおそらくおじさんのクエが解放したかな。我らがバイロンおじさんのクエストが。 あ、解放されてる。我らがバイロンおじさんの頼み事が解放されている。看板も揃ってきたぞ。ノースリーチ、マダムからだ。すごいシンプル。みんなのバイロンおじさん。やっぱりあれブローの房まだ残ってるのあるしって言ってたからダメになっちゃったんだね、エーテルの影響かなんかで。何入ってんだろう。あ、
Clive, do you have a moment?
Of course. Always.
I wanted to give you something.
お守り。
Is this?
I stitched it from the cloth you gave Hortense. The piece she said you liked best. I told her I used to enjoy needlework, but I didn't think she'd remember.
It's beautiful, Jill. You didn't have to.
When I was very little, I recall my mother telling me that young ladies of the court would give knights ribbons from their hair before they went off to war. I still wear mine, so I made you this instead. Red is the color of passion, the fire in your heart. Fierce and bright, it binds you and your brother, you and your friends, you and me.
Our bond. May it never be broken.
And may it ever bring you back to me. I will always, always be here.
Thank you, Jill.
お守りもらった。ビロードの織物。赤は決して燃え尽きることのない絆の色、まるであなたたち兄弟みたいに。前もらったやつは今持ってないんだよね、きっと。やっぱ持ってないわ。そうだよな、さすがにな。ところでクライブの髪がボサボサなのってくせ毛なのか溶かしてないのかどっちなのかな。まあナチュラルな感じかな。まあでも寝癖とかがついてる感じでない、束感は出てるからこういうセットなんじゃない？若い時と分け目変えてるんだよね。そうだね、エルヴィンはきっちりしてたね。あれはなんかワックスとかジェルで整えてそうな感じだったけど、クライブはなんかシャワーしてそのままパパパパパーって乾かしたみたいな。でなんかそうね、ライトめなドライのワックスをさーっとして束感作りましたみたいな感じの雰囲気だね。でもこれで適当に乾かしてこのクオリティで仕上がるんだったらすごい楽でいいよね。 なんか王族の式典とか出るときはやっぱりエルウィンみたいにぴったりするのかな。ピタッと七三みたいな。七三にはしないか。はい。ではジョシュアはくせ毛ですけどね。ジョシュアは襟足長いよね。ふわふわ、なんか昔からふわふわの髪の毛で、ふわふわの髪の毛はそのままに襟足が伸びてる感じだよね。襟足はちょっと切りたいんだよな。でもふわふわなのは昔のままだね。なんかクライブは逆に昔よりも髪質が柔らかくなった感あるよね。あれは固めてたのかな、若い時は。ピチーって感じだったけど、ナチュラルな感じの方がいいな。では次回もですね、バイロンおじさんのクエストもやって、あとガブのクエストもやってないし、あと1回ぐらいクエストかな。ボリュームが出てますよね。そう、なんかこの前髪の位置と逆に分けてたよね、若い時はね。それが今は一体化してる。これまたシャワー浴びたらセクシーな感じになりそうな髪型だよな。かき上げたりとかしたら。いや、かき上げが似合う髪型だね。今日はこのまま終わりにしよう。では次回もサブクエをちょっとやっていきたいと思います。で、次回の進行度合いを見て、まあでも全部やりたいからな、サブクエは。全部やったらラスト行くか。全部やってから行くか。もう80レベル超えてるしな。もうこうなったら全部クエスト終わらしていくわ。モブハントはまあ配信で全部やんなくてもいいかな。もうだって最強、でも最強の腕輪は腰作ってないのか。いや、腰の分だけやろうかな。はい。なのでまあもうちょっとやってると思いますね。ここまで来たら全部行きましょう。まあ全部っつってもあと少ないからね、割と。まあ長さはあるけど量的には少ないと思う。まあ英語バージョン聞くの初めてだし、まあいっか。じゃあサブクエやって、モブハントもやって、石刀はちょっと無理かな。ハードの石刀はちょっと無理かな。できるかな。まあちょっとその時考えよう。はい。では、ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。